So I've just arrived at Aalen. This is where the Kocher-Jagst bike trail starts, and it's a whopping 33 degrees. So it's just a few meters from the train station, and here behind me you can see already the Kocher River that we'll be biking along the next days, and it's the first time you see it. So I'm almost done with the first 10 kilometers. It's super hot and I totally forgot to put on sunscreen, so I'll do that now in a little nice spot here in the shade. If you can see, it's a nice little bench here. Another little break after just about 30 kilometers. The trail has been partly right by the river, partly along the one of the main roads, but very easy to ride, very smooth, very few uphill parts, and very clear signage. So now I'm taking another break in the shade. It's still good 33 degrees Celsius outside, and I'm just trying to check out one of the camping spots for tonight in Schwäbisch Hall, and then we'll see if they have space for me. For the last 20 to 30 kilometers, the heat has been relentless. There was like hardly any shadow, any shade. And it's been super hot. Even my water tastes like tea. It's all just got boiling hot. And so I finally found a little bench in the shade, and gonna chill for a few minutes before I make it to Schwäbisch Hall, to the campground. They've confirmed that they've got space for me. So I'm looking forward to that and a shower in that heat, which is great. Otherwise I would have camped outside, but this is probably not the best weather. I'm not complaining, it's not raining, it's beautiful, everything looks beautiful, but it's just super hot. I arrived safely in Schwäbisch Hall camping ground, and I'm now sitting here and cooking the food. as you can see. Looking forward, I already showered, put up the tent. I've just biked now about 10 kilometers for today. Taking a little rest here. It's about, I would say, 4 kilometers after leaving the city of Schwäbisch Aalen. So I'm making myself some breakfast with a nice view here. So down there by the trees is where the Kocher River runs. And here's a nice place in the shade. And I'm making myself some nice breakfast. It's cranberries and oats and a little bit of water. Just to get some nutrition in and then make the rest on my way today. So I have just passed the towns of Ingelfingen and Weisbach. I've done 45 kilometers today. There's another, let's say 60 kilometers to go to the town of Siglingen, where my sister lives. So fortunately I will be able to stay overnight there. So I don't have to worry about arrival times or anything. The weather is still great. It's, I don't know, feels like it's still 30 degrees or so. I finally found a spot in the shade. There's really hardly any shade on the last, I would say 30 kilometers or so. Since it was in the morning, the temperatures were still okay. And I'm taking a little break, and then I might also take an extended lunch break, just to escape the heat a little bit, let the body cool down. And then we'll see if we make the target today. I'm now in Hauthausen am Kochen, and the heat is killing me. I did 67 kilometers so far. There's another roundabout 40 to go, and finally found a spot in the shade where I can have my lunch. It's a little bit late, but there was like literally no spot where I could make my lunch and be in the shade at the same time. So this place is really nice, as you can see here. So I've done 75 kilometers. We have a light drizzle, you can see here in the water, which is nice because it came with some clouds. So I'm enjoying that while it lasts. If I already get wet, then maybe not from sweat, but from clean water. So we'll see. Another 35 kilometers to go. So I've now arrived in the city of Bad Friedrichshain. This is where the Kocher part of the trail ends, and that's also where the Jagst part starts. So one river done, next one up. So, good morning. After a wonderful and restful night at my sister's place in the little town of Siglingen, I left around 8:40-ish and did my first 15 kilometers today. I'm right now under the Autobahn bridge, as you can see over there. That's the A81 toward between Heilbronn and Würzburg, or Weinsberg and Würzburg, and right by the river here in the shade. Today it's supposed to be a little bit more cloudy. It rained overnight a little bit, so this morning, just after I started, like after the first 3 kilometers, there were already a couple of trees on the road, so I had to take a detour through a field and clean the bike a little bit afterwards. It's like so muddy after the rain. However, the weather now is nice. It's very humid, but not too hot yet. So we'll see what the day brings. So I just had a lovely night in the city of Crailsheim. Yesterday I did 111 kilometers, which was pretty tiring because it was hot all afternoon. Today, now it's only 60 something kilometers left to get to Aalen, but with a steep incline, so we'll see what the day brings. I'll have a drink now here at the marketplace, and then I'll get going. Having breakfast in Jagst Cycle Route. It's about 15 kilometers into today's route. The weather is very nice, it's overcast and not so hot. Still very humid, but at least there's a little wind and it's not so hot, so I'm enjoying that, trying to make the most out of it. Hope it stays like that till the climb back to Aalen, so we'll see what the day brings. So I've made it to Burg Karpfenstein. It's the biggest climb or the biggest ascent in this tour. I would say parted in two halves. One along the road, which is not as steep and it's easy to go. And then as soon as you take a left into the forest, it gets a bit steeper. But the last 50 to 100 meters are super steep. Like, I had to be careful with all the weight on my bike. It lifted my front wheel every now and then. So that was really heavy. But now I made it. I think that was the major climb. There's a little bit more to come, but nothing major. So we'll see how it goes. There's, I think, another 15 kilometers to Aalen. And then, yeah, we've finished the tour.